Welcome to Living the Dream, sponsored by Jackrabbit Dance, the podcast that brings together studio owners, dance educators, and leaders in the industry. Hosted by Rhee Gold and Laura Giacomelli, each episode is packed with real talk, inspiration, and a passion for the dance life. We're so glad you're here. Hey there, Laura.
How are you, Rhee? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Happy day after Memorial Day to you. We've been doing, we did a special edition last Thursday night, and this is kind of a special edition. But in 2 weeks, we'll be back on Monday mornings. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Living the Dream. I'm Rhee Gold, and I'm here with my fabulous co-host, Laura Giacomelli.
What an intro. Thanks, Rhee. Hi, friends. I hope everyone had an amazing Memorial Day weekend. We're excited to be with you this morning, especially with our incredible guest that we have lined up today, one of my favorite people.
Yes. We going to keep her name secret, or shall I say Stacey Morgan will be joining us. Before we go to that, I like to start the show checking in on you. What's going on in life, Laura? Tell me, what are you thinking? What are you feeling?
What am I thinking? What am I feeling? I think we're all have our feet to the fire this week, and I think the next couple of weeks if you haven't done your recitals yet. Recital-wise, though, Rhee, I feel good. I feel like I actually was like going through my checklist that I made in the rhythm calendar in the Gold Alliance meeting on Friday. I was writing out all the things that I've done. And then I was like, wow, I only have like 3 more things to do for the recital. And 2 of them I delegate. So I was like, this is really, it's like a good feeling. And my recital's not until June 21st. So we still have a couple, like 2 more weeks. Or I'm sorry, three more weeks at this point.
Yeah. Late for a dance recital. Always that way with you?
No, that was a change since COVID. I always wanted to have a little bit of a later recital. That's my home studio growing up always had Father's Day weekend. And I found a venue. It's a private high school, and the public schools were very strict in my area that we had to have it like Memorial Day or before. And that just didn't work for me. And I went to a different location during COVID, and they said, you want to have your show July 1st? You could. You want to have it August 15th? You could. I was like, what? I'm like, you don't, they're like, we don't follow any calendar like this. We book this privately. So whenever you would want it, you could have it as long as it's available and not booked through other things. So we're normally like the 19th, 20th, 21st, that the weekend after Father's Day. I wouldn't mind moving it up one weekend next year. But it all depends if the venue's even available because other studios use it. So I kind of have to wait and see.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I know we were talking as we were coming on, and I guess I'm going to pull it out of you. What are you stressing?
Stressing?
Not any names. I ask because I'm sure there are other listeners to our podcast or even this broadcast who could relate to your story.
Yeah, I think right now it's like the shake-up time at the dance studio. Like, who's returning, who's staying, what levels are we, who's going to get a solo, who's going to get the trio, who's going to get the front and center spot. So I feel like I'm sure many studios that have a competitive program are feeling that right now. I will say that's probably my least favorite part of owning a competitive studio. Figuring that and figuring out people's mentality of who they do and maybe do not want to work with. That has been an interesting dynamic to see.
In the way of working with teachers or working with students?
Working with other students.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's an interesting dynamic to see when your mission says one thing and then you see a dynamic that might be something else. I guess I'll say.
What does that make you feel? This is your shrink session. What does that
make? How does that make me feel? I think disappointed in some ways, to be honest, because I feel like the teachers see everyone, and I see potential in everyone. I move kids up who maybe didn't have that double pirouette and are in senior line right now. And I gave them an opportunity to grow and shine because I see their fire in them. And my teachers have seen the fire in them and knew that they were ready for that push. So it's interesting to see people maybe not being open to seeing people's potential, maybe. I guess I'll say it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sure maybe a lot of studio owners can understand this conversation, because I think this is something that you just, with having a competitive program, it's hard to not make it competitive within each other. And I think it's a beast that you have to kind of manage and kind of control in that way so it doesn't get crazy. But I'm a big believer in wherever people land is where they're supposed to land. If I have kids that are leaving, then I have kids that are leaving. I kind of looked at my program this year and I said, wow, we grew by 28 kids competitively for the fall. So I'm like, okay, if I have a couple who are leaving, that's just how the cookie is going to crumble. And I have 28 brand new ones who I can help grow and pour into and make them fall in love with dance. And I feel like that's kind of my mentality as the studio has grown. I'm going into season 15 right now. In the beginning, I used to get myself so in knots about it and like cry about it. And I've just learned that I can't let someone's family decision affect my day-to-day mental health, if that makes sense. I know that probably sounds wild because, yeah, there's the bottom line and there's this and there's that. But to me, it's like I can only instill so much in children. It comes down to a family decision. And I just kind of will always shift back my focus to who wants to be at my studio. And that's just something that's really grown in me, that confidence over the past like 5-6 years. And I love it because I don't sit in it. And I see how much some of my other teachers get so upset about it and they get emotional. And I actually now the one who kind of like calms everybody down. When I think it should, maybe people think it's like should be the other way. Like, aren't you like, and I'm like, you guys, like we have a whole micro team of 19 4 and 5-year-olds now. That's incredible. We've never had that. And they're like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, it's okay. Like this is the life of a studio owner. You go through waves and it's okay.
What's so funny is, the name of our show and podcast is Living the Dream. Yeah. This is a part of living the dream.
Yeah. And I think this is the part that maybe people it drains them.
Agreed.
I can see how this would be very draining because we are in the business of investing in children. And, if I look at someone and I've taught them first position and now they're leaving 10 years later, it's like, oh, like that does suck. It does suck. And that hurts my soul as a teacher. But I just try to put on my business owner hat and be like, I always go back to every family has to make whatever decision they feel is best for their child. I've left schools for Cole because it wasn't the best fit for him for whatever reason. I'm in a great school with Cole now, and that's just preschool. But I've just felt this shift in me that it's like it can't take up all of my energy. It's too draining. I just can't.
Thank you for sharing that today because honestly, I think that we as a field get caught up in this and let it emotionally drain us.
Yeah. Well, because we're in it because we love it, Rhee. Like this is
I got it.
I live my dream every day. I'm like, I'm so lucky, and I feel like so many studio owners truly feel that way too. Like, we're so lucky to do what we love and not sit behind a desk 9 to 5 and hate our lives. Like, so it just comes back to that. But I think it studio ownership does have its really hard parts too, for
Yes.
sure.
Yes. Okay. I have a feeling she's going to motivate both of us. We have a special guest coming up, but as always, a big, I'm reading your line, Laura. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. As always, a big thank you to Jackrabbit Dance, the sponsor of Living the Dream.
Jackrabbit Studio Management Software helps dance educators run more efficient, more focused businesses so you can spend more time doing what you love.
This episode is sponsored by Jackrabbit Dance, the dance studio software empowering you to build the studio of your dreams. With over 20 years of experience, Jackrabbit has the solutions and industry insights to help your business grow. Want to increase student enrollment, optimize your pricing to be profitable, or improve staff retention? See how other studios are using Jackrabbit Dance to hit their goals year after year. To learn more, visit jackrabbitdance.com/benchmarks.
Hi.
Hi.
For those of you watching live, welcome. We'd love it if you drop a comment. Let us know where you're from, who's here watching. We'll share your comments on screen.
And if you're catching the replay or listening on Apple or Spotify, we're glad you're here too. Living the Dream is all about making time for conversations that matter, when and how it fits into your day.
Okay, I know you're going to love this, Stacey. Here's your introduction, all right? Our guest today is a true force, business leader, mentor, speaker, and coach, joining us from Australia. Welcome, Stacey.
I loved that. Thank you, Rhee. I am joining you from Australia. It's 1:13 a.m. And you're the only person that I get up at this hour of the morning for. Nice to see you.
And multiple times a week, might I add, Stacey. Multiple times a week.
It's a big week this week. I'm going to be joining Gold Alliance 2.0 and Gold Alliance Evolution at this time, plus living the dream. Living the dream. What can I say?
We are living the dream today. We got Ontario, Canada here. We have, Columbus, Ohio. And Miss June. How are you, friend? Good to see you all. So, Stacey.
Can I just hijack for a second, Rhee, and just say how proud of Laura I am listening to you tell that story and listening to you talk about the way in which you have been able to take the emotion out of this really tricky part of studio ownership. I was just absolutely beaming, like my face hurts from smiling just listening to you talk about how far you've come. So proud of you.
Thank you. Well, I think this kind of really came out of me being in Gold Alliance. I've been in Gold Alliance for 6 years now, and you're a big part of Gold Alliance. And, I think you just have to grow. And Gold Alliance really helped me grow in many ways, emotionally, business-wise, all the things.
6 years.
That was not planned.
No, not at all.
Welcome, Angie. And also we have Allison from Massachusetts. I slightly miss Massachusetts, but I love the weather. So let's go with some questions, Miss Stacey. You run multiple businesses. You're a mom of 3. You clearly know how to lead with purpose. What's the definition of success these days?
Straight in the deep end. No more question.
What's your favorite color?
It's an evolution, right?
100%. And to be honest, Rhee, I believe it changes all the time. It's not like I get up at the start of 2025 and I think, okay, success for me this year is going to be X. Let's go in that direction. there are times throughout the season that success is, getting home at the end of the day and not pulling out my laptop and not having to do any extra work. Sometimes success is being able to sit on the floor with Henry and play Lego for as long as he wants me to play Lego. Sometimes success is hitting that number that I want in terms of students at the studio, or income or revenue, or any of those big goals and big numbers that I set for myself and for my businesses. But I think overall, the more I go through this entrepreneurial journey, the more that success for me is slowing down. And I know you'll love this, Rhee, because about 6 years ago, you said to me, you've got to slow down. And I was like, whatever. Like, no, what are you talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I can't remember that at all.
Oh, right.
You were not
remind me every chance you get. But I listened to that and I thought, I don't need that at all. And right now, that's actually what success means to me. It's taken me a good nearly 10 years, Rhee, to come around to that idea. But for me, success is slow mornings, not rushing, having the time to get everybody's shoes on, get everybody out the door without going, get your shoes on, here we go. All of that. And then the same thing at the end of the day. What does success look like? It looks like having family dinner all together, being able to, wrap up the day together, being able to I have this cute snuggle with all of my kids at the end of the day, and I ask them, what was good about today? What was tricky about today? What do you want me to know about today? And having the time to do that and hear about their day, hear about what happened in the playground, what they're worried about, what's on their mind, all of that. That's what success means for me at the moment. And luckily, I have incredible teams in each of my businesses. Sometimes those teams cross over and they enable me to have that time to slow down. They give me the chance to be able to enjoy that success. And I'm so grateful for that.
I feel like, Stacey, I'm very lucky to have you as one of my mentors. It's going to lead into my next question, because I feel like a lot of what I said earlier comes from you and being around you and Rhee. But I also feel like you're the main reason why my work-life balance is what it is right now, being a single mom of a child with special needs and really putting great staff in charge of the studio and stepping out of teaching 5 classes on Saturdays for 40 weeks of the year and teaching during the week and going at I remember when I was pregnant and I just said to myself, I think I'm going to teach more. And you're like, literally your face, you came really close to the Zoom screen. I'll never forget it. And you're like, you are not going to teach more. You are not. And I was like, I remember leaning back and being like, okay, Stacey, I will teach more. What are we going to do? She's like, we're going to make a plan. But I mean, when I think about that was a huge, that's probably one of the defining moments in owning my business, because that completely made me look at my numbers and say, how do I work myself out of it? How do I have good staff? What classes am I giving them? What do I want to teach in this season of my life, which is a huge thing for you, your season of your life. This is my season where I have a young child. And in this season, what do I want this season to look like? Because once he gets to kindergarten, not this September, next September, it will be a new season and things can shift and be different then. So as someone who is very lucky to feel your support as an entrepreneur, what first inspired you to support other entrepreneurs, especially in the dance world?
Oh, just making so many mistakes.
Oh, interesting.
Where was my person that leant into the camera and said, you are not going to teach more, you're going to teach less? And because I didn't have that, and because I went down the path of exactly what you wanted to do, when I had Lucinda, I didn't think, I'm going to have a child. That's going to impact my day to day. I'm going to take a step back. I instead had this, kind of mother bear instinct where I was like, I'm going to do more and I'm going to show everybody that I can do everything because I'm not going to drop a single thing. Nothing is going to get in my way. I'm going to be twice as committed to the studio as I was before I had this baby. I'll show them, because mums across, we work in an industry that's full of mums, and every second mum I saw around the corner or in the foyer at the studio was like, your life's going to change. And I was like, no, it's not. Thank you so much. And, I did that for 9 months of like, go, 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 I can do this. And then I broke down. I completely had a moment. I will remember it. I talk about it in my keynote because with this moment, taking Lucinda for a walk in the pram to try and get her to fall asleep with my husband, Heath, in this, little moment where we got to spend together, and we walked, around the block and down the path, and we were beside the beach, and I just stopped the pram and stopped walking and said, I can't do this anymore. And he was like, what? And I was like, I've dug myself a hole too deep and I can't get out of it. And he helped me out of it in that moment. And so for anyone else who is going through that entrepreneurial journey, my passion is to be the voice that I didn't have, to be able to say, don't make that mistake, because I made this mistake. So if I can help you from falling down and having to get back up, that's what I'm really invested in, because there have been so many mistakes along the way. There have been so many times that I've fallen down, and not just related to, having the kids and that season of my life changing, but just in terms of running the studio in general. Like, I've stuffed up more than I've done well, I sometimes feel. And it's nice to be able to pass that on and to be able to pay it forward and say, I tried this, didn't work for me, but here's what I tried that worked better. Give that a go. And it's lovely when things like that work out, because it's really rewarding for me. It's like a whole new level of teaching that I've unlocked.
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like that's probably what that feels like. It's a different level of teaching. It's not, you're my mentor, but I think it's just as impactful as teaching a child. We all love what that like aha moment when you see it in their face, and how that pride feels. They just stand a little taller when you say their name and they're getting the note, and they're accomplishing their check marks. But I'm sure it's a very familiar feeling to that, because for me it was life changing. Cole's life is completely different because you leaned into the camera and you were like, this is not going to happen for you. And I was just like, okay, like it was just like this, you were my brick wall. And I was like, okay, thank God I hit it, because now Cole is thriving, especially with having special needs and being autistic. It's like, he needs me, especially this past year. He needed me completely. So the fact that my studio was able to continue to run and grow is a big, is the ripple effect from that conversation, I guess is what I'm trying to say, for sure.
Hi.
Welcome, Rhee.
No, can I just say this? Because I love watching Laura do this, and she does it great. But what you just said is so important, and I hadn't thought about it that way. What makes a good mentor? Someone who's experienced it and can save others from going through those experiences. It's life. You get that. We're getting some laughs for my hello. Now I think I'll sit back, but I just want to say it's like, that's how you become a good mentor. It isn't all about a smooth ride.
No. And I think, Rhee, sometimes people get into entrepreneurship or open their own studio thinking that if they just get rid of that family, or if they just get a first place, or if they just then everything will be smooth and it'll run smoothly and beautifully, and there'll be no hiccups and it'll just be, sunshine and unicorns and rainbows every day. when the reality is running a studio is a roller coaster every day of the week. Some days it's up, some days it's down. Some seasons it's up, some seasons it's down. But the roller coaster doesn't ever stop. And I think some people get really down on themselves, especially in this transitional time, like Laura was talking about, where, you know, it is, people are shaking things up, you know, and I often see a lot of studio owners over the summer period when they're either up or they're down, depending on what their registration looks like for the next season. And the thing that I get them to hold on to, or the thing I remind them of, is this is part of the journey. This up and this down, this doesn't stop, no matter how many years you've been doing it, no matter how experienced you are. Yes, the dips don't, the more you do it, the dips are less offensive, like they're less dropped, and it's a little bit smoother, but it's still up and down. And I think if you hold on to that, knowing that that's what it's going to be like, then it's less of a shock when the downtimes happen, and you get to enjoy the up times a little bit more, because you know that they're coming, and it's not a reflection on whether you're good at this or bad at this, or whether you should close up and, you know, go and get a job somewhere else and completely change careers. It's like, this is what you signed up for. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. Hold on, enjoy the ride, or enjoy the journey, as some might say.
Well, and I feel like too, Stacey, it's like, that's what you sign. That's, in my eyes, what you sign up for as an entrepreneur. In the end, it is a roller coaster ride, but those lows you're responsible for, those highs you're responsible for, and guiding your people through those and guiding your staff through those, because it is a bit of a roller coaster. Like I was saying earlier, like some of my staff is like so shooken up about things, and I'm like, guys, we're all right, we're okay, like we're good. But it's interesting to be. I think it's interesting to see all the things that fall under the hat of a business owner. I don't think I realized that season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, season 14 going into 15, all of the hats that I have to wear underneath the umbrella of being a business owner is really eye-opening. And I feel like I can see how it's like a tidal wave, and it could take you over if you don't have the right resources around you, the right people around you, the strong mindset. Entrepreneurship isn't for the weak.
No.
In any field, in any type of entrepreneurship, studio ownership, whatever it is, it's a hard field.
It's different now when it comes to studio ownership. There was a time where passion might make you a success. It's different now. You must be on top of your business. You must have business skill aside from your passion for dance education in order to survive in the 2025 studio ownership world. It's not the way that it once was. It's an evolution. Comments on that? Or I'll go to this next question because I'm curious. How do you approach balancing ambition and intention, especially as a mom and a leader? Silence. We are still here, ladies and gentlemen.
This is so tough, Rhee, because some days I'm feeling great about it, and other days I'm feeling like I'm terrible at this. But what I have learnt is that my intention where I'm at currently needs to be where I'm at currently, because I used to try and balance or juggle everything at the same time and wear all the hats at once. So I would be putting my kids in the bath but answering emails in the inbox, or I'd be on the phone to a teacher dealing with putting a fire out while I was serving dinner. And when I was trying to wear both hats at the same time, I was in the danger zone. I wasn't able to do either of those jobs really well. And I think as studio owners, sometimes we're not only wearing 2 hats at the same time, we're wearing like 3 or 4 hats at the same time, trying to keep everybody happy, trying to keep all the wheels turning, all the plates spinning. And what I have learned is that if I can be where I'm at right now, and that my intention is to be there without being distracted, then I get rid of a lot of the guilt that comes from trying to balance everything and trying to do it all and have it all, because that's actually not possible. It's unrealistic. It's been set up for us in a really unrealistic way. And it's this expectation that we're all trying to live to, which is completely impossible. And all that does is just leave us going to bed at night feeling like we haven't been enough or haven't done enough. So I try really hard to, when I'm serving dinner for the kids, and they're complaining about whatever it is that I'm cooking for dinner, which ultimately happens, the thing I served them on Tuesday night that they loved on Monday night, they never enjoy on a Wednesday, but I try and be there as part of that exploration of what they like today and what they will consume and won't consume. And then when I'm teaching, I'm no longer pressing play and watching the kids dance and giving them corrections and thinking, I wish I was at home, so I should be at home serving the kids dinner. No, they get me for this period of time. My students get me for this period of time. My team gets me for this period of time. I've become really good at decompartmentalizing the different hats that I wear and trying really hard to wear 1 hat at a time, not 6 hats at a time, and then wonder why I'm so busy and stressed. It's been an evolution, Rhee, because I don't get it right all the time, but I'm trying to get it right as much as possible. Alison's just jumped in the chat. She's a mum of 2 young kids, and that not wearing the same hat at the same time she finds it important as well. She said, I'm struggling because I do not yet have the experience to know when to slow down and how to balance my life and kids in studio. Alison, that will just hit you like a bus in the street. You don't have to worry about that coming to you. That'll come. That'll come. And you'll know when it hits you, because it is about surrounding yourself with people who can lift you up and can support you and can be there on those days to say, you're doing great. Doesn't feel like it, but you're doing great. So I'm lucky that I have those people around me. And I'm lucky that one of them, Rhee Gold, is awake in the middle of the night when I'm tossing and turning at 4 a.m. worrying about one hat or the other hat. I can always pick up the phone and say, and he's always awake.
I'm here for you, Stace.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate I think we keep each other up, actually.
Well, it works. It works both ways.
Definitely.
Well, I have another question, Stacey. What do you love most about mentoring, specifically with the Gold Alliance?
Oh, what's not to love? I am so lucky that I have this incredible group of women and men, shout out to Chris, who are on the other side of the world, who, when I see you in person, it's like we've known each other 1,000 years. I feel so embraced by the community, even though you only ever see me on screen and you only ever see me in my pajamas in the middle of the night when it's my turn to come and coach and mentor. But I can't explain to people in my day-to-day life here in Australia that I had this community of people that every year I get to engage with, and that that I get to see on a weekly basis, that I get the opportunity to watch them grow. And because it happens in the middle of the night, it's kind of this like spooky spiritual thing where, I get up in the morning and Heath doesn't know whether I've been on a call or not, unless I'm, I've got something to share. But when I get to see you all at the conference every year in person, it's like not a single day has passed. And being able to watch all of you with your own journeys and the ways in which you often came into the Gold Alliance feeling like, I want to say this without it sounding condescending, and it really isn't intended to sound condescending, but
Nope.
a lot of the time when people join the Gold Alliance, they don't really feel like they're worthy of investing in themselves, because it is an investment. Gold Alliance is a commitment. It's a time commitment. It's a money commitment. It's a commitment in your own growth. And a lot of you, when you first joined, came in really, really trepidatiously to the boardroom, or to the meet and greet, or even to the Zoom room for the first time. And it's so rewarding to see you go from not feeling worthy of investing in yourself in this way to these empowered, strong, like decisive businesswomen who not only deserve the time and the opportunity to invest in themselves and their business, but they're absolutely smashing it out of the park. And for me to watch on, like that's when you see a twinkle toe skip for the very first time. You've been teaching them for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden it all clicks and it all comes together. I get those moments with Gold Alliance people all the time, because you are always stepping it up, and Rhee curates an incredible schedule of people that continue to inspire you and continue to give you new knowledge and new information that you can take and you can put into practice. And then we have accountability where we're following you up and making sure that you do it. Like, it's a beautiful process to be able to observe. And because I am kind of in another country, I do feel very much like I get to watch that journey and watch you grow. And so I just feel so lucky that it's part of my life, and it's such a special part of my life. And as I said, I can't explain it to people in my day-to-day here, but for those couple of days that we get to spend together every year, it lights me up and it fuels me for months. I practically don't need to get on a Qantas plane to get home. I fly home on my own.
It is a special group and a special experience. And the uniqueness in each individual and each pursuit is such a cool thing. Yeah. So how do you stay personally? This is our final question. Then we have rapid fire questions.
Ooh.
How do you personally stay fueled and inspired through the roles you play?
Well, surrounding myself by people who have been there before and who are doing it better. I talk to a lot of studio owners, Rhee, who are always a little bit afraid to delegate. They're a little bit afraid to bring people into their studio that perhaps might be a better teacher than them. They might be more skilled in a certain area than they are. And they feel really hesitant to grow their studio by leaning on others and by bringing in experts, because they feel like it will threaten their position and the way in which they do things. And that's a hard transition to make. I'm not minimizing that at all, but it can be so rewarding, or what I've found is it can be so rewarding to surround yourself with people who are as passionate or more passionate than you, who are great teachers, who do have skills in different areas, and being able to bring them in to the fold and empower them to be able to do their roles and step up and take on new challenges. Like, that has been such a key to my success. The fact that I haven't tried to do it all, and the fact that I've been really open to empowering others to live into their passion. Because I know a lot of people find that delegation part hard. A lot of people find that, they want to hold onto the systems and processes and not let any of it go. And I think that the key to being able to choose the way in which you spend your time, because we all get the same 24 hours as Beyonce, the key to being able to figure out how you want to spend that time is being able to
did we
surround
say
yourself with others.
There? Did I hear us slipping Beyonce? That's probably algorithm or something here.
Beyonce, like, she can do it all. She can have it all. But think about her team. Like that, She doesn't just get in that car and float over the audience by clicking her fingers. It's not magic. She's got an incredible team of people that she's around. And I'm sure she surrounds herself with people who are the best at what they do. And for me, my team is incredible. I love watching them teach. I love watching the pieces they create for our recital, because I'm like, I could never do that. You're amazing. And, you know, paying them well, looking after them, treating them well, helping them grow, taking them to the conference. It all helps to build the lifestyle that we were promised in choosing entrepreneurship. We get to choose the way we spend our time. We get to choose the things that we get to spend our days doing. And I'm lucky that I get to pick up the kids from school and drop them off to school. Henry got a merit certificate at the assembly last Thursday. I got to go and stand there and watch, which was not something my parents ever got to do for me, because they worked full time. They were absolutely in the thick of it. And so it's been really lovely being able to do what I love and also make those choices to have the lifestyle that lights me up.
And can I add to that, Stacey? Because I feel like this is something that I've learned through the Gold Alliance, that the reason why you don't feel guilty on being able to be that mom who can go there at 10 o'clock on a Thursday and watch that is because you're the one who took all the risk.
Yeah.
I'm the one who took all the risk at Libra Dance Studio. It was my money. It was my time. It was my working 2 jobs for the first 5 years of owning that business and working 80 hours a week. It's that. I remember saying that. You took all the risks. So now it's okay to reap the rewards from all of those risks. And I was like, that kind of blew my mind a little bit. And I think I felt less guilty. You know, Cole had his graduation 2 Thursdays ago, and here I was eating cupcakes with him at, again, 10 o'clock on a Thursday. And I was like, this is really cool that I can be here. Even as a single mom, I can be here. That's super cool. You know, and entrepreneurship is a really beautiful thing in that way. I love it. I wouldn't want to do anything else. But all right, Stacey. So we're closing with a little bit of fun, a round that we're going to call Lead with Heart. So just go with your gut for your answers. What is the first thing you do in the morning when you wake up?
Call Rhee. No. Because I know he's awake, I will often call Rhee when I'm cooking my eggs.
That is the truth. Or I get a picture of her scallops. She eats scallops a lot, and she knows I love them, so I get pictures.
A lot? Not for breakfast. But if I do go out and I order scallops, I'll send Rhee a picture, because I didn't really eat scallops until I had dinner with him in San Diego. How many years ago was that, Rhee? Many years ago. And now that's like my go-to on a menu. So, sorry, I completely got sidetracked on the question, but I normally call Rhee, or I have eggs. I'd love to give you a really spiritual answer, Laura, that says, you know, I take 10 deep breaths and I set my intention for the morning and I say, today is going to be a great day. But usually I look at the clock and I, you know, have I usually wake up because there's a small child next to me, like terrifying. And then all of a sudden the day has started. So I do I would love to start with a slow morning, eggs on toast, a cup of tea, and, you know, time with the kids, and then we go into the craziness.
Nice.
Cup of tea.
A cup of tea.
Favorite Broadway show of all time?
How long have we got? You said we were wrapping up.
That's one. These are supposed to be quick answers.
Oh, sorry. The Drowsy Chaperone was my first Broadway show that I ever saw. I saw it twice on that first visit to New York. The Drowsy Chaperone never disappoints.
Okay.
Love it. One word your team would use to describe your leadership style.
Annoying. And no, I say that because I'm like, I've had this great idea. And they go, how are we going to do it? Like, because I don't like to think about how we're going to do it or what. I just like to say, here's the idea. You're welcome. So I would say annoying. Enthusiastic, maybe. Enthusiastic.
What's the favorite part of the work you do now?
This. Yeah. Getting to tell stories about the things that haven't worked and the things that have worked, and to share ideas about what could work or what we could do, or sharing the stories from in the trenches is my favorite part.
What's something people would be surprised to learn about you?
I'm pretty much an open book, especially at 1 a.m. So I tell all sorts of stories that the next morning I wake up and go, I don't know if I would have told that if I hadn't been completely tired.
I'm guilty of that too. I am guilty of that too. As the day goes on, you could get more out of me.
I don't know if there's anything that would surprise people, Laura, because there's not much that I'm not happy to share and not happy to take you along. Maybe I'm an introvert.
Mm.
I know, right? That face. At my core, don't talk to me. But I guess I must be a blend, because I do get a lot of energy from hanging out with people and from talking to people, but I also need to recharge by being alone in a dark room.
Stacey, I feel like that's relatable, because I feel like when you're an extrovert, I would say that we're mature extroverts, because we've learned that like you have to be an extrovert, you pump so much out that like sometimes I just need to like sit on my couch with my water bottle and watch a show quietly. And I need that to be able to be happy for dinner, or to be like, I feel like when you're in this world, you always have to be, when you walk into that studio, or sending that email, or you're posting on Instagram, you're always at 100. You're the face, you're the brand, you're the everything. So I think it's hard to not let the cup get completely depleted. So I feel that too. I think, people are like, you're not going out. No, I'm gonna sit on my couch and binge watch The Mormon Wives. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna binge watch The Mormon Wives. That's what I'm gonna do.
We all have that in common on this call of this podcast. I'm exactly the same way. I can go out and do it, but I have to replenish by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll get home and Heath will say, oh, so-and-so's coming over. And I will go into like a rage, because I'm like, no people, no, I can't people anymore. I've all peopled out.
I've all peopled out. I say that too. No more peopling. I'm done.
Stacey, thank you for sharing your time, your wisdom, your energy. You lead by example, and we're excited and grateful to work with you and all that you do in our industry.
I'm so grateful for the opportunity to get to work with you guys all the time. It's such a joy. I have no words for how much it brings to my life. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. And to our viewers, if this conversation inspired you, check out rheegold.com to learn more about our conferences, our coaching programs, and the Gold Alliance, where Stacey is one of our lead mentors.
Come and join us. It's a good time. You never know what you'll learn about me.
And don't forget to subscribe. Ooh, that was hard to say. Forget to subscribe to Living the Dream on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or YouTube, and you'll never miss an episode.
Thank you, Stacey, for being with us today, and thank you to all of our viewers for listening. Until next time, keep doing what you love and keep living the dream.
And I'm trying to do our outro, and it isn't working. So the audience is getting this live.
Behind the scenes.
Here we go.
That's a wrap on this episode of Living the Dream. A huge thank you to our sponsor, Jackrabbit Dance, for their support of our community and helping dance studios thrive. If you loved today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your dance friends. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep dancing, and keep making a difference.